Happy Sunday, Seacrest families. I hope this message finds you well, safe, and happy, and healthy. And we have quite a bit of information to share with you in this Sunday Wave. So we've created this slide deck. You can listen through this presentation. You can also click on the link below to work your way through the slides and to get more details. We will be covering the COVID update, our survey results, a brief overview of lower and middle school, our teachers, communication, and what to expect next. COVID update, where are we now? As you may know, that on Wednesday, around midday, we were added to the monitoring list. I am recording this Saturday midday. We have had slight increased numbers over the last 2 days, actually the last 3 days, and we are expecting that this evening, Saturday evening at 12 o'clock, new restrictions will go into place. Per the July 17th guidance from the state, schools may not physically be open for in-person learning if we've been on the monitoring list within the last 14 days. So we know that we would need to get off of the list 14 days out from the start of school to be able to offer the option for students to do in-person learning on our campus. There's been a lot of talk in the news and around about the waiver process. So you know, San Mateo County has not released the waiver process, protocols, or application as of now. I'm very fortunate to be in contact with the heads of all the other independent schools in San Mateo County. We were able to get a call with a very senior official at the San Mateo County office. They are actively working on getting a waiver in place, and we expect to see the application come out someday mid next week. What we also know from other heads and schools in other counties that have been on the monitoring list for weeks more than us is their counties do have a waiver. However, the state has now stepped in and said there will be additional waiver requirements that will need to be put in place for schools to be able to open in person if they're on the monitoring list. And the state has yet to release what those requirements will be. So we're all actively waiting to see what will come from the waiver, what will be required, if it is something that we will be able to do, and what that process looks like. We're going to pause and not make definitive decisions around all of our schooling with hopes that A, we could get off the monitoring list and be able to give that option of in-person learning to our students, or B, a waiver will come out and it will be a swift enough process to be able to give that option as well. Our junior kindergarten program can offer an in-person option for all of our junior kindergarten families that would like to come to school in person, whether we are on the monitoring list or whether we are off the monitoring list. So junior kindergarten does not apply under the current guidance from the state of California. It goes under childcare. Kindergarten through 5th grade are the only grades that would qualify for the waiver. As of right now, the state has mandated that middle schools and above are not able to give the option to return to campus if a school is on the monitoring list, even if the school has obtained the waiver. So we've made the decision that we are committing to the first 6 weeks of distance learning for our middle school students. Knowing that a waiver is not even an option, we felt it best to establish very strong routines and distance learning cohorts for our teachers and our students for the first 6 weeks. The waiver process is very complicated. The regulations that are starting to stream out that we're hearing of come with lots of complexities. We will diligently work on understanding them and getting the information to you as soon as possible for our grades K through 5, and if we are able to offer the option for students to come to school. We know lots of you are hearing that organizations like the Boys and Girls Club and tutoring centers do not have to go under this guidance because they are not technically a school and an educational institution. That is something that all independent schools, with the support of CIS, are looking to understand more and to hopefully be able to come to a compromise with the state that if those sort of centers like the Boys and Girls Club are allowed to be open, schools like Seacrest School are allowed to be open as well. These are the results from the family survey we sent out. We are close to 100%. If you are in that few percent that we don't know where you stand, we really, really, really need this data. So please reach out and fill out the survey or let us know what your intentions are. We have currently 74% of our families that would like to have the option of on-campus learning, whether we are in a waiver process or watch list process or just in COVID. We have 22% that would like to have distance learning for the first trimester, which ends in November. And we have about 1% that is opting for distance learning for the year. You can pause on this slide and look at more detail based on your children's classes. A brief catch-up and overview for lower school. We want to be able to provide the option for on-campus learning from Monday through Thursday and a full distance learning program as well. We have worked diligently to be able to have fully operational both of these programs at the same time. We've talked a lot about what on-campus learning, especially for our lower school, has looked like in the past. We feel really confident that the things we're able to do would keep kids engaged, learning, and safe at the same time. For our distance learning for lower school, we will have a distance learning coordinator to help facilitate the student learners that opt for distance learning in our JK through 2nd grade program and provide tech support for our students in 3rd and 5th grade. For our 3rd and 5th graders that are doing distance learning, they will have synchronous and asynchronous, but more synchronous schedules into the classrooms of the teachers that are live stream teaching in the classrooms. We'll have the parallel programs for 3rd through 5th grade, social structured opportunities, small group and individual check-ins, and modified at-home enrichment classes. Our middle school program. As I mentioned before, we have committed that the first 6 weeks of school will be a distance learning middle school. We have a structured daily schedule that includes synchronous and asynchronous learning. This schedule has been combed over and revised time and time again over the last few weeks. We've really come together as an entire middle school faculty to talk about what works best for students learning our various subject areas in distance learning. Do we want longer breaks, longer instructional time for certain subjects? Do we want more frequent breaks because we're concerned about Zoom burnout? Are we making sure there's time for personalized asynchronous learning and synchronous learning? We're looking at are some of the breaks in the day too long, that it's easy to get too distracted and too disconnected from school when you are learning from home. I'm really proud of the schedule that the middle school team has all come up with together to make sure that it is best for our students at our school. We'll have grade level groupings for small class sizes, similar to what you see every year. These groupings are not based on whether you submitted on that survey that your child may like to come back after the 6 weeks, if that is an option. The groupings will be made the same way they are made every year. There will be multi-level math, including geometry, just as there is every single year. We're really excited that there's going to be new exploration offerings guided by staffs for students to join in middle school. These are an opportunity for middle schoolers to be in cohorts across grade levels based on their interest in the various options that are going to be offered. We will be hosting a weekly Friday community meeting for all of the middle school. It's going to offer us connectivity, fun, learning share outs, a space for us to discuss topics, bring in speakers, and we're really excited to see how this program and this meeting is starting to take shape. We know that one of the things in the first trimester that will be missed are our overnight exploration activities and field trips. So the middle school faculty is going to be doing a curiosity week. That's where groups are created across middle school grade levels and all subject areas to dive in deep to a subject that excites the kids. I'm not gonna spoil, but there's a list of ideas that we're working on right now, and it's going to be a week of connectivity and learning and getting to work with teachers in different capacities. And we're really excited to share more out at our back to school night of what Curiosity Week will look like for trimester 1. We're able to provide weekly faculty office hours for students and parents to check in one-on-one with their student or on their own with every single one of the teachers in distance learning. We're going to have structured opportunities for social connection, lots of creativity going on right now about different opportunities for kids to create different lunch groups and social groups and things like that. We're going to have opportunities for small and group and individual check-ins. One of the things that was a positive that came out of distance learning is the ability for students to pause while they're getting a subject taught to them, rewind, go back, ask questions, work at their own pace. And we want to make sure that that benefit has a lot of space and room in our schedule. Lots of emails and questions about sports. We are working on it. We are very confident that safe distance, socially distanced sports such as cross country, golf, maybe even outdoor volleyball, we're working on that, will be able to be an option. We are not aware yet if those options are changed based on the monitoring list. So we are actively working on figuring out how we can provide sports programs to our middle school students, even if there are alternative sports programs that we normally don't have. We've talked about hiking and surfing and mountain biking and other activities we know that our students love and enjoy in our own backyards, and trying to find creative ways to provide a group setting safely with masks 6 feet apart for our kids to be able to have those opportunities. So more to come on sports as well. I do want to note for both lower school and middle school, we will be doing a town hall where we can dive in even deeper to this. We normally aren't able to share out much about our program in July, but we were fortunate this year to have all of our faculty come back and to be able to really dive in deep to provide you more of an insight and gain a little more excitement around where our program is shaping up for the fall. So please look for that next town hall. And then, of course, where you find most of your bulk information will be at back to school night from your individual teachers. Speaking of teachers, our teachers are back. It's unprecedented. Most teachers have a contract that they are to report back to school about a week before school starts. Of course, they do tons of work over the summer and professional development and reading and research and things like that. But in a formalized setting, it's normally a week before. we were able to get 100% of our teachers fully back a month out from school. And we're so excited. This was our first week, and it was such a great week of collaboration and ideas and critically digging into why we're doing things and how we're going to do things. And it was really, really a robust week internally. So we're doing multiple weekly meetings. Like I mentioned, lots of collaboration. We're diving in, and we're excited that we'll be sharing out that first week back the essential question that each student will be asked and each teacher will be asked during trimester 1 for their various subject and grade levels. What is that overarching question that we are going to tackle in our grade level, in our subject for each trimester? And we're really excited to share out how we're structuring that. We're talking a lot about not only our why, not only knowing what we're teaching, but why we're teaching it, and making sure when we come back and we're together with our students, they know not only what they're learning, but why we're learning. We know it's going to be a challenging year, whether we are distance learning, in-person learning, a hybrid of learning. We are going to have to prune and make sure we're doing the essential deep connectivity, deep questioning of ourselves, our curriculum, our skills for our students, and our learner outcomes. That why is going to be what drives us throughout the year. Our teachers are knee deep in professional development. They are taking designing for online learning week-long courses right now and collaborating to make sure they're talking about the pedagogy of actually teaching through a computer, what that means, what that looks like, how you structure it. We're relearning how to teach in this way. We're so excited. The robust professional development opportunities that organizations were able to create from May to now have been really amazing. And we're excited to be able to have the opportunity for our teachers to dive into those over the next few weeks and share out their learnings with you as we come back to school. As mentioned in previous waves, one of our goals for this year is to streamline communication. You're experiencing it right now in our Sunday wave. We also really want to streamline communication for our students and our parents internally. This year, we're thrilled that every single grade, JK through 8th grade, will have a uniformed Google Site page. So every single classroom, every single grade level will have its own web page. In that web page, there will be tabs for each individual subject that will be updated weekly on learning, projects, rubrics, homework, links for more resources, links to dive in deeper, helpful tips for parents. They'll be, like I mentioned, they'll be updated each Friday. We created these websites not only because we wanted to streamline communication, but because we're very, very conscientious that there's a loss in not being together on the campus. Even if we are able to offer the option of some of our students returning to campus, parents will not be able to walk into the classrooms. You will not be able to look at the learning that our students are doing posted on the walls and the bulletin boards, or coming together for an assembly for showcasing kind of the amazing work our teachers and students are doing together. So we wanted to be able to create a space that all of that community and connectivity around our students learning and our teachers teaching is shared. You will have access to every class's Google Site. So if you're curious about the next year for your child, you will be able to click in and you will be able to watch the learning and the lessons and the reading that is happening this year that you can anticipate for the next year. We are committed to these web pages and continue and consider this to be an amazing step for our internal communication that we will continue for years to come. So what's next? A very big save the date. I know these save the dates will also be listed in the Sunday Wave as well. At the top, please remember to read these Sunday Waves, watch the videos. It's our main communication. If you don't have time, mark as unread and go back to them. Starting August 10th that week, I'll be hosting a meeting for each class to join. I can't wait to get to learn and know each student. I've been studying last year's yearbook to know names with faces, but I'm excited. I have some activities planned with each grade and each grade level, so we'll have a chance to zoom in and get to know each other. We are planning on having our JK and kindergarten camp. We are working on the format right now. On Thursday, the 13th, we will have that curriculum town hall. We will have our lower and upper school directors be speaking, as well as some teachers, to really dive in deep on what to expect from a curriculum. It's kind of a back to school sneak peek this year. On the Friday, the 14th, we have a new family orientation, which is a really fun theme. Invitations are on their way. We're excited. Our teachers are in their pre-service professional development week that they normally have on August 17th. That will be done virtually. On the 20th will be our last preschool starting town hall. We've named it Here We Go, and we're keeping right now the agenda very open because each week I speak to you, things drastically change, and we want to make sure that the subject matter is really open to what will need to be articulated for that moment. On Friday, there's going to be Meet Your Teacher Zoom meetings for every student and parent to get to meet their teacher via Zoom without a mask, ask them questions, see who they are. I know that the teachers are working on really fun kind of icebreaker activities as well. Monday, August 24th is going to be the pickup day for you to pick up your supplies from school. We'll send out more details on how you come, when you come, what you get. On that Tuesday, then, there is going to be a mandatory class orientation for families on Zoom. Each teacher will be asking students, with support of their parents, no matter what grade, to open their school device, make sure it works, log in, and they will navigate you through their classroom websites, Google Classroom, where to access information, how to sign up for office hours. And this is where we know that our parents are partners. Even if your child is an 8th grader, we are requesting that a parent sit with their child to go through the digital learning orientation for all grades. Then on Wednesday, the 26th, will be our first day of distance learning, and I will be hosting a back to school Zoom coffee for the families. All of these will have more times and details and links to follow, but we wanted to give you kind of an overview so you could start marking your calendars. I know they're all busy with lots of social activities right now. Just kidding. So we wanted to give you the opportunity to mark your calendars for that. What I wanted to say finally in this is thank you. So much gratitude. We have received so many emails, myself personally and our team, from you, this community. I am finishing up my 5th week here as your head of school, and I feel filled with warmth and love and a welcoming feeling to be your head of school through a really challenging time. We know it's frustrating. We know there's lots of concerns, and there should be. It's uncharted territories. We are diligently working to navigate these waters the best that we can, and we're really committed to providing you up-to-date, clear communication. There's a lot of questions that are going to come out around the waiver and what will the possibility of the 24th and students from kindergarten through 5th grade, the option if parents need them to come to school be. We are working on it. I don't want to make a definitive decision right now because we don't even know what the waiver looks like. So soon as we get that information, we will be sharing it out with you, our community. Until then, any question that was not addressed in this, please email us, reach out. We're here. We're ready to talk, to connect, and to try to work on this together. Until then, Please take a deep breath, turn off that news for just a minute. We all need it. Step outside. I'm still completely in awe about coastal living, and hug your kids for me, and we'll see you real soon. Thanks. Have a great one.